The topic of my presentation is goat milk, its functionality and implications on human health. So most of us are familiar with the nutritional properties or the therapeutic values of goat milk because goat is known as the foster mother, as all of us would have heard about this. And goat, if you see, it is known to be one of the oldest domesticated animals in the history of mankind, and it has been used as a source of milk and milk products, which are very much required for fulfilling the need of a balanced diet. So, goat milk, it is, however, a very valuable source of nutrition, especially in those areas where the cow milk is not available or it is not easily accessible. So, in this lecture, I have tried to tell you, bring in a common platform, I have tried to bring about all the health benefits which we can obtain from the goat milk. So, and how we can go for further development of products from goat milk with various health benefits. That is how we can go for development of various functional food products from the goat milk. Although goat milk itself is a functional product, but goat milk has certain disadvantages also, like the order of the goat milk. It is very strong. So how we can go for development of functional products and with various health benefits. So coming on to the topic. So first, I will just like to give an introduction of the goat population in the world. So if we see the goat population in the world is around 1.17 billion as of 2022. So in this, India is the major contributor, and India holds around 148.88 million goats as per the 2019 livestock census. So compared to the previous livestock census of 2012, the goat population has increased by 10.14%. And in India, if we see, 27.8% of the total livestock is contributed by the goats. So there are around 39 breeds of goats which are registered in India, and over the world around there are 681 breeds which have been registered. So if we see, Asia is the major what to say, has the major goat population, which is followed by Africa. And similarly, the production of goat milk also, India is the, I think, the topmost, and Asian countries, that is India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and China, they contribute significantly to the goat milk production. And the world goat milk production stands at around 22 billion kgs as per the latest data. So next slide, I will be just showing you the global scenario of the Indian livestock products. So if we see, as all of us know, that India is the topmost producer in case of milk production, and we have a total production of 239 million, 0.30 million tons, and it is around, it contributes 22% of the global milk production. And in egg production, we stand in the second place. And in the meat production, we stand in the fifth place. This is as of the Basic Animal Husbandry Statistic data, BHS data, 2023. And if we see for the goat milk production, so at present, the goat milk production in 2020 is around 7.59 million tons. So this is the graphical representation of the goat milk production, goat meat production, and the species-wise milk contribution. So in the species-wise contribution, we see that goat contributes around 3.3% of the total milk product produced. So this is the among the non-bovine species, the goat contributes the maximum milk production. So as we move on next, as already told, goat is also known as a foster mother. And we all know that goat milk is a source of very important nutrients. And these nutrients, the best thing about goat milk is it is digestible by all age group people. That is, it is digested by infants also, and it can be digested by elderly people, as well as for those who have certain special requirements also. So, and it has been seen that many national and international conference proceedings, they have highlighted and demonstrated the relevance of goats as global producers of a vital food in terms of both meat and dairy products. So, goat milk, it provides ample benefits for health, maintenance of physiological processes, nutrition of infants and elderly. Apart from that, goat milk, it has various advantages such as it is non-allergic, it is easily digestible, and another major factor is goat contributes to the reduction in the poverty of the people. So there is a growing interest in the goat milk and its dairy products. So this growing interest is just because of the realization since although we have been consuming these goat products since ages, um, this growing interest today is because of the realization of the functional properties of the nutritive value, the therapeutic value of the goat milk. Okay. Although very few data is available on this topic. So goat milk, it is also a very potent source of macro and micronutrients, and it has these nutrients. They have certain various health benefits. Like all of us know, goat is used in the treatment of goat milk is used. It has an anti-diabetic potential. It is used for the reduction in the cardiovascular diseases as for anti-obesity as an to reduce obesity and treatment of various viral diseases such as in case of dengue, etc. So the composition of goat milk, if you see, it is almost similar to the cow's milk. There is not a major difference. But the thing is the difference in the structure, the chemical structures of the different components, that is the protein, the lactose and the fat, are the factors which affect the digestibility and the nutritive value of the goat milk. So with these benefits, the goat's milk can be used to produce a wide variety of products such as beverages, the UHT milk, fermented products, butter, condensed and dry products, sweets, and candies. So if you just search on the net, you will find that there are a lot of goat milk products which are available in the market. So goat milk, if you see in human nutrition and medicine, goat milk has various health promoting compounds such as the bioactive peptides. Another very important component which is present in the goat milk is the conjugated linoleic acid. So this conjugated linoleic acid, it is present in not only in goat milk, it is present in all the ruminant fats. And there are various oligosaccharides also which are present in the goat milk. These oligosaccharides, they are prebiotics and they again offer a number of health benefits, especially in the infants. And goat milk, it has a lower allergic potential. So this, I will come to this point in the later slides. It has improved digestive potential. So the improved digestive potential is due to the small size of the fat globules and the smaller size of the casein mycetes also. Then goat milk, if you see, it has a higher pH. That is, the pH is almost near to 7. And it has a greater buffering capacity also. So that is one of the benefits of goat milk. Apart from that, if you see the proteins present in the goat milk, they have various functional properties such as the whipping property, emulsification, oil absorption capacity, etc. And this makes it a suitable component in the food industry. Then, apart from that, goat milk is an excellent matrix for innovative health promoting components, and goat milk can be used in the development of functional foods also. Now, coming to the composition and the functionality of the goat milk. So, if we see the composition of the goat milk, it varies according to the genetic, physiological, environmental, and the handling factors. So, if we see even between individuals in a particular breed, also there will be variations in the composition of the goat milk. So, this is because of the complex and the extensive genetic polymorphism of the casein and the other components present in the goat milk. So, as I've already told, goat milk has a similar composition as that of cow's milk. However, there are differences in the structure, which is responsible for the better nutritional value and the better health properties of the goat milk. So there are various other health promoting compounds such as bioactive peptides, Then the conjugated linoleic acid, hormones, cytokines, oligosaccharides, nucleotides, etc., which help in the development and maintenance of metabolic, immunological, and physiological processes, and thus contribute to the development of functional dairy products. So this diagram, it is showing you the health benefits and the properties of goat milk. So in this, you can see the different components in the goat milk, that is the carbohydrates, proteins, minerals and vitamins, and the fats. So the major carbohydrate which is present in the milk is the lactose. So lactose enhances calcium absorption, magnesium absorption, phosphorus absorption, and the utilization of vitamin D. The oligosaccharides, if you see, they have prebiotic properties and they have anti-infective properties also. So it make oligosaccharides have a special role in the infant nutrition also. Then proteins, if we see, they have smaller sized casein micelles, which makes it better digestible. Then goat milk is also a rich source of vitamins and minerals. The major minerals are the calcium, potassium, magnesium, sodium, and the phosphorus, while the minor ones include zinc, iron, copper, and manganese. Apart from that, it also has multiple vitamins also. Then fats, if you see, there are the medium chain triglycerides. These reduce the cholesterol and the low density lipoproteins. While the fats have certain medicinal values also, like it is used in the treatment of gallstones, cystic fibrosis, and childhood epilepsy. Then coming to the properties, if we see, goat has various properties which will be discussed further. That is the antimicrobial property, anti-carcinogenic property, it is immunostimulatory, and there is elevation of the lactose intolerance. Next, coming to the next slide, that is the milk fat. So the milk fat, if you see, it is one of the most important components of the goat milk regarding its value, nutritional, physical, and sensory characteristics. So goat milk fat, if you see, the fat, it is already in the homogenized form. You do not need to go for further homogenization. The fat globules, they are very small in size, that is, it is less than 2 microns in size. And the major fats, that is 98% of the total fat is contributed by the triacylglycerols, while the rest 2% is contributed by the phospholipids, cholesterol, free fatty acids, monoglycerides, and the diacylglycerols. And the milk fat also contains the essential fatty acids such as the linoleic acid and the arachidonic acid also. And if we see the fat globule size, as already told, it is very small. And another important property of this goat milk fat is it does not aggregate naturally upon cooling, as they lack the agglutinin factor, which is responsible for the clumping of the fat globules on the cooling. So this agglutinin, it is present in the cow milk, but it is not present in the goat milk. Then there is the lower fat size of the globules and the difference in the fatty acids also. And the length of the fatty acid chain is also lesser. So these are the factors which contribute to the major factors which contribute to the increased digestibility of the milk fat. Then it contains, if we see the goat milk, it contains a high proportion of short chain fatty acids and the long chain fatty acids. And the capric acid, caprylic acid, and caproic acid, they are the major fatty acids which are present in goat milk, and it is around 15 to 18% of the total fatty acids. While in case of cow milk, it is around 5%. So if you see the characteristic odor and the flavor of the goat milk also, it is because of these fatty acids. So these fatty acids, that is the short chain triglycerides and the medium chain triglycerides, if we see, they are directly absorbed from the intestine. They do not need the micelle formation for its absorption. So that is another reason why the fat digestibility of the fat is higher. And these fatty acids, if you see, they also have medicinal value. That is, they are used in the treatment of malabsorption, steatorrhea, intestinal resection, childhood epilepsy, coronary bypass, cystic fibrosis, premature infant feeding, and other gallstones also. Then the other minor lipids which are present are the gangliosides, glycolipids, glycosphingolipids, and cerebroslides. These promote cell-to-cell interaction, immune recognition, and receptor functions for protein, hormones, and bacterial toxins. Apart from this, if we see the omega-6 and the omega-3 fatty acids, the ratio of the omega-6 and the omega-3 fatty acid is 5:1. And this ratio of 5:1, it is a desirable ratio for the cardiovascular health. Apart from that, the lipid fraction also has an inhibitory activity towards the platelet activation factor induced platelet aggregation. So this is a very important point in which that shows its efficiency in the treatment of atherosclerosis, in the prevention of atherosclerosis. Then another interesting factor of the goat milk fat, or you can say the ruminant fat, is the conjugated linoleic acid. So the conjugated linoleic acid is a group of naturally occurring 18 carbon fatty acids, and there are various isomers of conjugated linoleic acid which is present, and the beneficial health effects is also due to the isomers of these conjugated linoleic acids. So if we see the conjugated linoleic acid, it has a number of functions or a number of health benefits. That is, it causes a lipid reduction. It is very promising in case of cancer treatment. It is anti-diabetic. It is anti-inflammatory, and it has cardio. It can be used in the treatment of cardiovascular diseases also, and it has immunomodulatory function also. Then coming to the proteins. So the proteins, if we see, the goat milk proteins, the proteins basically are they can be divided into the caseins and the whey proteins. So the caseins, if we see, it contributes around 74% of the goat milk, while the whey proteins, they contribute to around 14%, and the rest 9% is contributed by the non-proteinous nitrogenous compounds. So if we see the total casein content in goat milk, it is comparatively higher than that of the cow milk. But however, the difference in the composition again leads to the beneficial effects of the goat milk. So if we see again here, the caseins, they are of the different types, that is the alpha casein, beta casein, and the kappa casein. So the alpha casein, again, there are the two types, that is the alpha S1 casein and the alpha S2 casein. So if we see, the alpha S1 casein is more in case of cow milk and lesser in case of goat milk. Although you can see the range over here is 0 to 28. So in some goats, the alpha S1 casein may be completely absent, whereas in some it may be present up to 25 to 28%. And this fraction of the casein is the major fraction which is responsible for the allergy. So because of the reduction in the alpha S1 casein, goat milk is considered to be of lower allergenicity. Then if we see the whey proteins, again, it is comparatively higher than that of the cow milk. So next, coming to the alpha S1 casein, so I would like to stress on this fact. So there are the goat milk having A, B, or C alleles. They may contain around 25% of alpha S1 casein, while the goat milk containing the E, F, or the N alleles will not contain the alpha S1 casein. So the goat milk, that means the goat milk containing E, F, or N alleles can be used for the allergic people who are allergic to cow milk. Then the casein mycins that we see in case of the goat milk, it has less complete sedimentation rate. It has a smaller size and lower heat stability also. The casein mycins, they are comparatively more fragile as compared to that of the cow milk casein mycins. And the lactoferrin is another protein which is present in the goat milk. So this lactoferrin is an iron binding protein. It has various effects such as the AC inhibitory effect, antimicrobial effect, and it is also an immunomodulator also. Then if we see the proteome analysis of the goat milk, there are various precursor proteins are present, which who produce peptides which are involved in hypotensive effects, that is the angiotensin, such as angiotensin, and those proteins which are responsible for the mammary gland development, then for fetal immunological protection, that is the factor H, defense factor, that is component C2 and C6. So these precursor proteins are present in the goat milk. However, they are not present in the cow milk. Then coming to the amino acid composition, if you see, there are taurine, glycine, and glutamic acid are present in higher concentration in the goat milk. And taurine has a good health benefits. They have cardiovascular effects. Then they are used in the regulation of BP. It helps in vision, cerebral functions, detoxification, and in the fatty acid assimilation. Another important thing about the casein protein is the of the protein milk proteins is the curd tension. That is the ability to form curd once the milk is digested. So if we see the curd tension in case of goat milk, it is very less. That is around 36 grams. While in case of it is an average value. While in case of cow milk, it is comparatively high. That is around 70 grams. So with this itself, we can say that the goat milk is comparatively more easily digestible. So certain studies they have in the certain studies they have said that goat milk can be digested within 20 minutes by an infant, whereas cow milk it will take around 2 to 3 hours for digestion by infants. So this is one of the good properties of the goat milk. Then allergy to the milk proteins, as already said, it is mainly due to the alpha S1 casein. So it is an immunomodulated adverse reaction to milk ingestion, and it is classified as IgE mediated, non-IgE mediated, or the mixed type. So goat milk proteins, they have low allergenic capacity, and they are 40 to 100% of the cow allergic patients can tolerate the goat milk. So, apart from the casein fraction, beta-lactoglobulin is also known to produce allergenic, produce allergy. And as we saw in the earlier table, the beta-lactoglobulin concentration in goat milk is comparatively higher as compared to that of the cow milk. But still, the difference in the structure and it is also said that the beta-lactoglobulin, it breaks up faster. It is absorbed faster in the intestine, so it does not remain intact in the intestine to cause any allergic reaction. And then the N and the C terminal peptides of the cow's alpha S1 casein have higher binding affinity for the immunoglobulin E. So this is another one reason for the allergic reaction of the cow milk proteins. And in a study by Lara et al. In 2004, they observed that the IgG1 and the histamine levels were higher in the cow milk sensitized mice as compared to the goat milk sensitized mice, showing that the cow milk had a higher allergic potential as compared to the goat milk. So we can say that it is a genetic polymorphism that occurs in the proteins between different species that clarifies the potential use of the goat milk as a substitute to cow milk in case of allergic reactions. Then next is the bioactive peptides from the milk proteins. So bioactive peptides, they are released from the parent or the precursor protein by the during fermentation or by enzymatic hydrolysis. So these bioactive peptides, they are known to possess different activities, such as some of may have AC inhibitory activity, some may be anti-thrombotic, they may be antioxidant, they may have antioxidant properties. Then apart from that, some may be antimicrobial, and they may have a variety of actions. So it depends upon the precursor protein and the peptide which is being released. So a number of peptides, bioactive peptides are released from the different proteins, that is casein, beta-lactoglobulin, the lactalbumin, and the other fractions also. So these bioactive peptides maybe the protein, the parent molecule, they may not have that particular action. But when they go for hydrolysis or by fermentation, when the peptides are formed, the smaller peptides, they may exhibit these properties which may not be present in the parent molecule. So then next is the lactose. So lactose, if we see, it is a major component of the goat milk, and it is around 0.2 to 0.5% less than that of the cow milk. And apart from lactose, the other carbohydrates which are present in the goat milk include the oligosaccharides, the glycopeptides, glycoproteins, the nucleotide sugars, etc. And these goat milk oligosaccharides, as I've already told, it has a highly beneficial effect on child development. Apart from that, it also has antigenic properties and it promotes the intestinal flora growth in newborns. So these oligosaccharides, they also have prebiotic effects also. And the goat milk oligosaccharides, if we see, they are similar in structure to the breast milk, human breast milk oligosaccharides due to the presence of neutral and sialated structures. And studies have shown that these oligosaccharides, they are able to inhibit, decrease the intestinal inflammation, contribute to recovery of the damaged colon mucosa, and are preferentially catabolized by bifidobacterium isolated from the infants. So the major oligosaccharides, if we see, we can classify it into two types, that is the acidic oligosaccharides and the neutral oligosaccharides. So the acidic oligosaccharides, these are vital for the neonatal development due to their immunomodulatory actions, while the neutral oligosaccharides, they check for the adhesion of pathogens to the intestinal mucosa. Then coming to the minerals and the vitamins. So goat milk, again, it contains high levels of calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, iron, and copper as compared to cow milk. And it has a better nutritional quality of goat milk is not only dependent upon the mineral composition, but it is also dependent on the manner in which these nutrients, these component minerals and vitamins are utilized by the human body. So apart from that, there is a increased bioavailability of magnesium, iron, calcium, copper, and phosphorus. So because there is increased bioavailability of iron, this goat milk, there are studies showing that goat milk has proven its effect in the treatment of anemia. So that is due to the increased bioavailability of iron. Then goat milk also there is it improves the intestinal absorption of copper also, which is attributed to the higher contents of the cysteine in the goat milk. And the absorption of iron is contributed to the lysine amino acid. Then goat milk also contains selenium. So selenium is present in fairly high amounts, and if we see the selenium, it helps in controlling the human immune system in case of autoimmune disease. And literature has also cited that it is this selenium which is present in the goat milk that favors the what to say platelet count in case of the dengue. Then apart from that, there is also a higher level of vitamin A also. Then I've from noticed that if we go for consumption of 200 ml of goat milk, it will supply around 32.6% of the daily value of calcium intake and 27% of the phosphorus. Whereas in case of cow milk, it contributes to 29% of the daily value of calcium and 23% of the phosphorus. And selenium, it controls the immune system by upgrading it when necessary and downgrading it when it is produced in when the system overacts. And it works, selenium, it also has a inhibitory effect on the virus. It prevents the replication of the virus, and it also improves the function of the T lymphocyte and modulates the interleukins. So this is how the selenium helps in the treatment of dengue. Now, goat milk as a functional food. So from the components itself, from the composition itself, we've understood which component is responsible for what function. So goat milk, as such, if you see, it is can be called a functional food because apart from nutrition, it is also providing health benefits also. So there are goat milk, various compounds in the goat milk, such as the whey proteins and the casein. They exhibit potential bioactive, biochemical and physiological functions, which have a profound influence on human health and metabolism. So the unique composition of the goat milk makes it a superior raw material for the production of food for infants, the elderly population, and the population with special dietary requirements. Then, apart from that, the unsaturated fatty acids, vitamins, hormones, the cytokines, enzymes, and the growth factors, all of which help in the nourishment and protection of infants. And there are additional compounds such as antibodies, glycoproteins, and the oligosaccharides, which again protect the infants by preventing the pathogenic pathogen infections and supporting the growth of intestinal epithelium. Then the health benefits, if you see, I've already told the health benefits, but again, it will be discussed further. It is also known as the grandmother's medicine. So, in an allergy case study, it was seen that 49 out of 55 treated children benefited from the goat milk treatment. There was an increase in the weight gain in those infants which were fed the goat milk based infant formula. Then the goat milk, it has a better buffering capacity, which is due to the higher protein, phosphate, and the non-NPN compounds. And the beneficial alteration of physiological goat milk can beneficially alter the physiological processes and decrease the risk of various chronic ailments. So the omega-3 and the omega-6 is to omega-3 fatty acid ratio is 5:1, as already told earlier. And this ratio is essential for the cardiovascular health. And the milk casein and the fat, they have been effective in lowering the plasma cholesterol level, and it elevates the high density lipoprotein cholesterol and enhances the fecal cholesterol excretion. And it also has various antioxidative characteristics also. Then these goats, they have also been used as a livestock intervention strategy in various African countries. So over here, they go for using this goat milk as a milk replacement in those infants whose mothers have been infected by HIV, by the HIV virus. So during the first 6 months, these mothers, they are allowed to breastfeed their children. And after the 6 months, it has been found that the HIV virus can transmit through the breast milk. So after 6 months of age, the goat milk is being used as a replacement in for feeding of infants. Those are infected with the whose mothers have been infected with the HIV virus. So goat milk, apart from that, it has protection against atherosclerosis and the accumulation of free radicals also, because it has antioxidant properties. Then inclusion of probiotics is a way to increase the functional value of the goat milk, because fermented products, along with the probiotics, they improve the functionality of the milk. Then goat milk, it has an antiviral impact on pseudovirus, the SARS virus, and Coxsackie virus also. Apart from that, as already told earlier, it also has an effect against the dengue virus also. So this is in a nutshell, it is showing the components of the goat milk and again the properties, that is the health benefits. Next, I've tried to tabulate the properties of various components. That is casein, if we see, it has anti-viral property. That is this fraction, it interacts with the capsid receptors or the membranes of different viruses, and they prevent the entry of the virus and the replication of the virus. Casein, it has an anti-diabetic effect also. It improves the insulin. It improvises the insulin resistance and treatment of type 2 diabetes. That is, it increases the sensitivity of the insulin sensitivity, and hence it can be used in the treatment of the type 2 diabetes. Then AC inhibitors and immunostimulating. AC inhibitory means it is an angiotensin converting enzyme uh, inhibitors and the immunostimulating function. So beta casein fraction 58 and 65 and the alpha casein fractions, they have been shown to produce AC inhibitory peptides. So these AC inhibitory peptides, they tend to reduce the blood pressure. Then anti-karyogenic effects. So the calcium binding caseinophosphopeptides, they have anti-karyogenic effects by recalcification of tooth enamel and competing for calcium from dental plaque forming bacteria. So these caseinophosphopeptide based toothpaste and chewing gums are available in the market, although that is from the cow milk. Then antioxidant property, alpha casein peptides, they also exhibit the free radical scavenging activity. So apart from that, it has a cytomodulatory effect also by that is by suppression of the cancer cells, and it promotes the function of the immunocompetent cells. Then casein and the whey protein, they have immunomodulatory effect also. Whey protein, if we see, it has different effects such as it is antioxidant in nature. It has antioxidant property. It has anti-appetizing effect also, and it again whey protein produces certain ACE inhibitors also. So the anti-appetizing effect, it is by the increase in the production of the cholecystokinin, which is the appetite suppressing hormone. So these whey proteins, they can be this anti-appetizing effect. It can be used for the treatment or the prevention of obesity. Then milk proteins on the whole, they may have antithrombotic effect activity. So antithrombotic activity um, it inhibits the human platelet aggregation. So this is the slide showing the mechanism of action of how this AC inhibitory peptides work. So for what happens is the liver releases the angiotensin, this tensinogen. So angiotensinogen, when it comes into the bloodstream, it converts the angiotensin into angiotensin 2. And this angiotensin 2, it causes an increase in the BP. So this and ACE inhibitory peptides, what they do is they prevent the conversion of the angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2, and thereby they decrease the blood pressure. Then lactoferrin, as already said, it has antimicrobial activity. It is has that the lactoferrin peptide, that is the lactoferricin. It has antibacterial activity, antifungal, and it is also has activity against the yeast also. Then fatty acids present in the milk, they have hypocholesterolemic effect. The phospholipids, if you see, they aid in the fat absorption by forming a barrier around the fat globules, which keeps them finely distributed. And through their lipotropic action, the phospholipids also aid in the transfer of fat from the liver. Then the medium chain triglycerides, they have energy providing effect. The cholesterol, it has a cell protection activity. Oligosaccharides, which are present in the goat milk, they have cell protection activity again. That is, it protects the intestinal mucosal cells against infections by encouraging Lactobacillus bifidus growth in the gastrointestinal tract, particularly in case of infants. It has anti-inflammatory effect also, and it aids in the repair of the damaged colon mucosa. Apart from that, oligosaccharides, they are prebiotics, and they have anti-pathogenic effect also. It is associated with the central nervous system enhancement, and in milk formulations also these oligosaccharides are used. Then the minerals, they have higher mineral uptake and bioavailability. Uh, the studies have revealed that it boosts the iron deposition in the target organs while decreasing anemia, and it also increases the bioavailability of selenium, zinc, and copper in case of rats. Then minerals, they also have, they increase the overall nutrition. So the rats which were fed the goat milk thrived substantially better and had greater liver weights and enhancement in the hemoglobin iron content and its absorption. Then the minerals, they also contribute to reduction of allergies in case of infants. And they minerals present in the goat milk, they also help in the promotion of the growth factors. So greater concentration of growth factors and a human epidermal growth factor polyclonal antibody was used to detect the existence of the epidermal growth factor in case of in caprine milk. Then the minerals, they also offer antioxidant activity also. So goat milk is used in the anemia treatment also. And goat milk also has an effect on the diabetes. So it is majorly the medium chain fatty acids and the bioactive peptides, which enhances the insulin sensitivity and thereby reduce the type 2 diabetes. Now we'll see the prospects of goat milk in the development of functional foods. So functional food, I don't know whether you all will be knowing about the functional exact definition of functional food. So functional food, we can say that functional, any food, it is called functional when it offers certain health benefits apart from the already existing nutrition it provides. Okay, so all foods necessarily need not be functional. So apart from the basic nutrition, it should promote certain health benefit also. So there is a huge scope for preparation or production of innovative products from goat milk, and this innovative functional foods can obviously boost this goat uh, husbandry sector, and because with increased in today's life, where life is moving on so fast, and there are so many incidences of lifestyle related diseases coming up, there is increasing awareness of the consumers among the consumers regarding the health benefit of different products. So consumers, those who have the ability to pay, they are willing to pay high for foods which are having good health benefits. And the increasing life expectancy is one of the reasons for boost in this functional foods sector. So apart from that, goat milk, if you see, it is an excellent matrix for innovative health promoting products and functional food products development. For example, by the prebiotic and the probiotic addition. Then the use of milk to produce functional foods is related to the milk's composition, which is a better matrix for probiotic bacteria than the dietary supplements such as lactic acid bacteria and the bifidobacteria. So in the functional food group products comes the fermented goat milk products. So fermentation is you can define fermentation as the breakdown of complex compounds into simpler and more um, absorbable smaller compounds. So fermentation, it potentiates the goat milk's beneficial properties, because during fermentation what happens is various peptides are formed, even the fatty acids also, they also break down. So new bioactive ingredients are formed during the fermentation process. And if we see the fermented milk products, they have a more health promoting fatty acid profile, such as the lauric acid, the oleic acid, and the linoleic acid. They are found to found in higher levels in case of fermented milk products. And these acids, such as the oleic acid and the linoleic acid, they have insulin sensitizing effect. They have lipid lowering properties, thereby reducing the blood triglyceride and the low density lipoprotein cholesterol in animal models through their anti-inflammatory activities. Then the fermentation process, it lowers the amount of the myristic and the palmitic acid, which are present in the raw goat milk. So these two acids, they are mm, related to they are related to the cardiovascular diseases. So the higher levels of these acids, these fatty acids, they contribute to cardiovascular diseases. So in this case, during fermentation, there is a decrease in these two acids, and so it um, you can say there is health promotion by fermentation. Then apart from that, there is a presence of bioactives, bioactives. So bioactive compounds are those compounds which are directly related to the presence of the activity of probiotic bacteria. For example, the bioactive peptides, which are specifically released by the hydrolysis of milk casein, only appear in case of fermented foods. So the more healthy fatty acid profile, the presence of these bioactive peptides and various other peptides, they contribute to the beneficial effects of the fermented milk products. So this is the diagram showing pictorial representation, showing the health benefits of different fermented milk products. That is, in this, it is particularly of, they have shown of kefir. So you can see it has an anti-inflammatory effect. Apart from that, it goes for regulation of the gut microbiota also. These fermented milk products, they have an impact on the bone health also by improving the bone mineral content and the bone mass density. They have antimicrobial effect. That is, they can reduce the bacterial infection and increase the hematological parameters and the clinical nutrition parameters. Then they can be used in, they also have anti-obesity properties. That is, they modulate the gut microbiota, and they can be used in for prevention of obesity. Apart from that, they are hypocholesterolemic. That is, they tend to decrease the levels of the plasma cholesterol, the high density lipoprotein cholesterol serum levels, they tend to increase it. And there is an increase in the LDL and the HDL ratio also. Then these fermented milk products, they are also hypotensive. Also, they have hypotensive properties. That is, there is a reduction in the, again, angiotensin converting enzyme. Then that there is increase in the vascular endothelial function and the formation of angiotensin 1 to 7. Then they also have a anemia recovery properties also. The proteins of intestinal iron metabolism increase, iron deposits in the target organs also increase. Apart from that, they're also anti-atherogenic also by reducing the level of the conjugated dienes and the oxidative LDL in the plasma. Then they also have antioxidant effects also. Then this is a diagram. Although it looks complicated, it's not all that complicated. It is the effect of fermented goat milk on obesity and its associated comorbidities. So excess energy intake, it leads to obesity. And obesity, the related comorbidities which associated with obesity are the type 2 diabetes mellitus, then steatotic liver disease, then hypertension, atherosclerosis, and oxidative stress, which finally lead to cardiovascular diseases. So in the right-hand side, you can see how the goat milks during fermentation and the incorporation of probiotics. During fermentation, you can see that there is an increase in the uh, unsaturated fatty acids, that is the monounsaturated fatty acids and the polyunsaturated fatty acids. Apart from that, there is an increase in the bioactive polar lipids also, and there is the production of bioactive peptides also. So these different compounds, that is the probiotics, at certain points, they inhibit certain points, that is they inhibit such as the body weight gain. Then if you see the probiotics, they also uh, go for reduction of the type 2 diabetes mellitus, because by what they do is they go for improving the uh, insulin sensitivity. Then if you see the bioactive peptides, they go for this prevention of the secretion of aldosterone and thereby reduction in the hypertension and the cardiovascular diseases. In the same way, the bioactive peptides, they go for inhibition or they go for activity against the free radicals and they prevent the oxidative stress, which in turn again decreases the risk of the atherosclerosis and the cardiovascular diseases. So this is how the goat milk fermented, the compounds present in the fermented goat milks, they go for various health benefits. Then next is the prebiotic goat milk products. So prebiotic, if we see, it is a substrate which is selectively used by the host microorganisms and it confers health benefits. So the prebiotics which are commonly mostly seen in the goat milk is the oligosaccharides. So these prebiotics, they can either be orally consumed orally or they can be administered directly to the site in the body which is colonized by the microorganism also. So goat milk is particularly high in oligosaccharides, then carbohydrates, polyphenols, and the polyunsaturated fatty acids are also present, which have probiotic effect. So it is observed that the oligosaccharide-rich fractions from goat milk cheese promotes gut health and can be used in innovative goat's milk functional products. So these oligosaccharides, you can go for its separation from lactose and from the lactose by means of the two-step filtration process. And further concentration of these oligosaccharides, it increases the its potential, its use in the development of functional product. Then apart from the oligosaccharides which are naturally present in the milk, there are certain other oligosaccharides such as inulin and oligofructose and various other prebiotics also, which can be added to the milk so as to improve its functional value. So inulin and oligofructose, these are compounds, starch based compounds which are obtained from the roots of the chicory. And these compounds, they change the quality attributes of the dairy products due to the interaction between the functional ingredient and the components in the food matrix. And if you see oligofructose, due to the free sugars, it has properties which is comparable to sugar and the glucose syrup. And this oligofructose, it is 30 to 35% as sweet as sucrose. So it can be used as a sugar replacer also, and it has low caloric value also. Apart from that, it also improves the technological characteristics of the product, such as the viscosity and other sensory attributes of the product also. Then addition of inulin and oligosaccharides to powdered goat milk causes positive changes in the gut microbiota composition and the metabolism of the rats. So this study, it was an in vivo study where they found that the metabolism of the rats improved by the addition of the inulin and the oligofructose. Then inulin type fructans, they have nutritional properties as well as, and hence they are certain technological properties also. They are slightly sweet, and the main thing is insulin type fructans. They can be used as fat substitutes, or you can say the fat mimics. So they are used as fat replacer, and they are less soluble in water. That is because of the high molecular weight, it is less soluble in water, and therefore it forms microcrystals. But these microcrystals, you see, they are less soluble in water or milk, but these microcrystals, they are not perceived on when you go for consumption of the product. So it does not alter the texture of the product. Instead, it interacts and it forms a smooth, creamy texture to the product. Then next is the probiotic goat milk products. So probiotics, as all of you know, probiotics are living microorganisms which have certain health benefits, which produce certain health benefits to the host when it is present in an adequate amount. So the benefits of the probiotics include balancing of intestinal microbiota. It improves the digestion, the lactose metabolization. It enhances the immune system response and also the carcinogenic, and it has various anti-carcinogenic properties also. So the recommended minimum daily intake of probiotics is the 8 to 9 log CFU per gram. While for a product to be considered as a probiotic product, there should be at least 10 to the power 6 organisms per gram of the product. So goat's milk and various other fermented products such as the yogurt, cheese, and ice cream, they are major probiotic carriers among the non-bovine dairy products. And goat milk is it is a very good carrier for these probiotic products because of the buffering capacity of the goat milk. The goat milk, it is alkaline in nature, so it has an appropriate pH for the growth of the probiotics. And apart from that, it also has high nutrient content. So this, all these factors, they facilitate the viability of the uh, probiotics. Then raw goat milk and the traditional goat milk yogurt, these have been used to isolate microorganisms with potential probiotic characteristics also. These are certain products which have been studies have been conducted on various products containing using different probiotics, and this is a table in which I've shown what were the results of the study. So in um, cheese with probiotics, they showed anti-obesity properties. Then fermented goat milk named Ogat or Madir, it showed hypoglycemic effect, hypolipidemic effect, antioxidant effect, and anti-inflammatory effect. Then fermented goat milk with containing a non-specified probiotic culture, it decreased the blood pressure by decreasing angiotensin 2 and aldosterone levels. Then fermented milk containing Lactobacillus plantarum was observed to have AC inhibitory effect, and it was seen that around 91.62% of the probiotics survived the gastrointestinal tract and maintained its activity. So, producing probiotic milk products is not sufficient. You have to ensure that the probiotic remains viable during the storage, and the probiotics should reach the actual point in the gastrointestinal tract where they can confer their health benefits. So these two things had to be made sure before the addition of the probiotic in the product. Then apart from that, in yogurt containing Lactobacillus acidophilus, it was observed that the probiotics remain viable, yeah, at 4 degrees Celsius for 28 days, and uh, it also improved the viscosity the cohesiveness of the product. And in another study, they had added honey along with Lactobacillus acidophilus in the yogurt, and this honey positively affected the color, the synapses, the viscosity, and the sensory acceptance. And the lactobacillus count also increased during the storage. Then in Kaolo cheese containing Lactobacillus acidophilus and Bifidobacterium, so it was seen that with storage time, a number of volatile compounds were produced, which improved the flavor of the cheese. Then another product that is a Kaolo cheese with conjugated linoleic acid enriched goat milk was prepared with enriched goat milk and Lactobacillus acidophilus, and they found that there was a higher content of the conjugated linoleic acid did not affect the viability of the probiotics. Then these are studies related to other products. Then next is the symbiotic products. The symbiotic products are those products containing both the prebiotic and the probiotic. So a combination of one or more probiotics with one or more prebiotics gives rise to products known as the symbiotics. So prebiotics, if you see, they are complementary and they are synergistic to probiotics and present a multiplying factor on their isolated action. So prebiotics, it favors the growth of the probiotics in the gastrointestinal tract. So prebiotics, you can say that it improves the survival and the implantation of the probiotics in the gastrointestinal tract. And apart from that, the prebiotics, they also, as already told earlier, it also improves the um, other characteristics of the product, such as the sensory attributes of the product is also improved. So symbiotic creamy goat cheese was produced by the addition of, and it was observed that the addition of the prebiotic improved the cheese's consistency, overall quality, and the antibacterial activity against Listeria monocytogenes. So a combination of prebiotics and probiotics can be used uh, to develop functional products along with improved taste and improved characteristics also. So these are certain studies which have been conducted uh, in goat milk products using different using symbiotics, that is the different probiotic strain and prebiotic strain. So they have developed cheese, ice cream, and ice cream also probiotics were used. So in case of ice cream, it was observed that in spite of the ice crystal formation, there was the probiotics were viable. Then in vivo studies. So in vitro studies is not sufficient to for the functional goat milk products. In order to claim that a particular product is functional, you have to go for the in vivo studies also. So a lot of products we see that they claim that it is having this effect, that effect, but until and unless we don't get the results of the in vivo studies, you cannot claim it as a functional product. So this is a table showing the different functional in vivo studies of the products. So goat milk's whey, it was studied in an in vivo model of colitic rash, and it was observed that the goat milk whey, uh, the results showed that it can be used for treatment of inflammatory bowel disease. Then in another case, goat milk cheese along with the probiotic, that is the Lactobacillus fermentum, was studied in mice for a period of 7 days, and it was observed that the oxidative stress related disorders were decreased by the feeding of this goat milk cheese containing the probiotics. Then similarly, yogurts were prepared using yacon flour. So yacon flour is obtained from a fruit. It is a starchy material, and the addition of this yacon flour, it acts as a prebiotic because and there is these type of flours, they are required in yogurt because as we already know that because of the difference in the casein structure, if you see the gel formation is not proper in case of yogurts and in other cheese also because of the difference in the alpha casein. So in this study, they added yakun flour, and these products were fed to visitor rats along with a high fat diet for 30 days. And it was observed that the feeding of this yogurt reduced the metabolic impact of the high fat diets. Then in an other study, again, fermented goat milk using Lactobacillus rhamnosus was studied in a in vivo model of immunocompromised malnourished rats, and it was observed that there was quick recovery of the nutritional status and the immune response. Then again, in another study using fermented goat milk using lactobacillus fermentus, and this study was conducted in human subjects for a period of 3 weeks, and they observed that there was a reduction in the oxidative stress indices, especially against the enteric pathogens. So in these studies, they observed that these pathogens they offered an anti-infective effect in case of the anti in what to say they prevented the growth of enteric pathogens also. Then again in another study using fermented goat milk using the same probiotic species again in humans, it was observed that the antioxidative it had an antioxidative effect and anti-atherogenic effect also. So these are the different studies in vivo studies which have been conducted in vivo models, although more studies are required so that we can go for claiming more functional products from goat milk. So coming to the conclusion, I would like to conclude that goat milk from is a superfood because it has all the nutrients which are required for growth of infants, and apart from that it is easily digestible, it has a very good nutritive value, and on top of all this it offers health benefits also. So goat milk can be considered as a superfood. However, the nutritional mapping is required for further development of functional foods and nutraceuticals because or, there is no proper nutritional mapping has been done still, and the goat production has to be strengthened by the efforts of the government and the R&D sector. And as we all know that India's rank in global hunger index is around 111. So goat milk, it can be a good component for providing nutritional security for our country. Then there should be improved awareness of functional food among the general public because most of the people they do not know about these things. And another very important thing is when we go for development of functional foods or any type of foods with health benefits, you need stronger marketing and distribution channels. So if we see with the goat milk products, very few products are available in the markets, and it is we cannot find these goat milk products available everywhere. It is only present in certain places. So there have to be stronger marketing where it is made available uh, to the local public, and there should be more distribution channels, and the cost of the products also should be in such a manner that the general public they can go for purchasing these products. So by this by with the stronger marketing, obviously when the goat milk products they come to the market, obviously the demand will increase and the value of the products will also increase. So thank you.